Welcome back to Rand on Real Estate. I'm Greg Rand, your host on 77 WABC and WABCRadio.com. My website is ownamerica.com because owning America is about the best thing you can put your money into in the world. And that brings me right to my next guest, a gentleman named Matt Tingy. Matt, can you hear me?
Hi, Greg. Yes, I can hear you.
Matt is from the Global Real Estate Group. And Matt, where are you sitting right now as we speak?
I'm actually sitting in Yorkshire in the UK.
In the UK. Okay, so we've got somebody on the phone here who has got American real estate that he has for sale to overseas investors, and he's having a wild success. And I'm really happy to have you on here, Matt, because the point we're making today to our listeners is that sometimes when you're too close to a situation, you miss what's really going on. And there are people in our country who are doubtful about an American recovery, specifically American housing recovery, but it doesn't sound like you're running into that. So first, tell us about the building that you own. Where is it? What's the profile there?
Yeah, I mean, the building that we own, we purchased 107 condominiums within a Grade A community in the South Side division of Jacksonville in Northeast Florida.
Great.
And we've taken over the full running of the entire site, including the HOA, and we are successfully renting nearly all the units we're nearly at full capacity, and we're delivering a Grade A property at less than what it would cost to build it, with a great cap rate. Okay,
so what you're doing basically is you bought a condo building that a developer had not completed, or he had completed but was not able to fully sell out, and he sold it to you. There was 100 and something units in there. You've gone forward. Instead of just buying it and selling the individual condos to home buyers, you decided to rent them out and then sell them to investors with tenants and property management in place.
Exactly. I mean, at this stage as well, we didn't buy them from the developer. We actually bought them from the bank that took them back from the developer. And the bank had actually had a good go at renting most of the units themselves, but we moved in an independent rental management team when we purchased, and they've been working very hard to fill the remaining units, and we're pretty much there.
That's interesting. So you could have tried to go and sell them to individual home buyers, but you're finding that the investor market is more motivated than the home buying market in Jacksonville right now, or at least motivated enough for you to be able to move these units. And now, so you're selling it to folks overseas.
Exactly, yes.
And how many did you sell so far to overseas investors?
We're nearly halfway sold in just over 2 months.
Okay,
and,
so this is a housing crisis. You know that, right? You heard that nobody's buying real estate, didn't you, Matt?
Yeah. That's the thing. The overseas investors, they have a different viewpoint because they're on the outside looking in, whilst an American might be, within the States and think, I want to invest in a property which I want to rent out. And they could live in Ohio and think, well, I'm going to buy a house in Ohio because I live there and I can drive past it on the way to work and I can see it and touch it, which means they're kind of not looking beyond sometimes the state or even the country, whilst foreign investors have got the luxury of being able to look in from the outside. So they're identifying that they know that they can purchase a property for less than what it costs to build it. They know they're going to achieve a very, very good yield on the property, and this is something they know they can't do anywhere else in the world right now.
That's interesting. So these are investors that are looking for investment opportunities all over the world, and they're landing on Jacksonville, Florida, and also, other places in the U.S. The reports coming in out of Phoenix and Vegas and Miami and all over the place, particularly in the places that have been hard hit by the foreclosure crisis. But you and I both like Jacksonville for reasons related to the port expansion, the job growth there,
exactly.
The Panama Canal expansion. People are telling me that they love to talk about Jacksonville, but move on. I can't move on. This market is incredible, and it illustrates everything that I'm trying to teach people about how to go about doing this. So how do people get in touch with you if they want to learn more about your product?
Well, they can either contact you, but they can visit our website, which is globalrealestategroup.com, and they can contact us direct, or they can contact Own America, and we'll be happy to talk them through what we have available.
Yep. If you're listening and you're interested in learning more about this turnkey investment product, like a $120,000 condominium that generates a positive cash flow, what kind of a percentage rate do you get on your $120,000?
You're looking at around 8.5% net.
8.5% net, and then you have the appreciation up in the future, which is the wild card, which we really strongly believe is going to come through strong in Jacksonville. So if you're interested, you can email me. That's Greg, Greg, @ownamerica.com. Greg at ownamerica.com. Check out the website. All right, Matt, before I let you go, give me your perspective. I mean, you guys are a finance company, and you have set your sights on housing in the U.S. Tell me why. What do you see happening here that compels you to invest your money?
Well, we're looking at a recovery in 5 years. That's
Nice.
our opinion. And if you look at the demand and the absorption rate of properties, which is starting to outweigh the supply coming to the market due to the international and institutional money that's pouring into the residential housing market, especially in Florida, we're seeing a huge change in the mindset of American consumers who are realizing they're no longer entitled to own a property. They're just now renting instead.
Right.
The majority of properties currently being sold are sold cash, to cash buyers at below build costs, and that's creating long-term stability in the housing market. And over the next 5 years, it will be almost reset back to good working order with very little debt because of the amount of cash that's being fed into the market, particularly from overseas.
Right, right. So you guys, that's a very important point. Number one is that overseas investor, you represent an entire class of investor, institutional money that's coming in. You see your friends and your colleagues in that field having a similar opinion?
Absolutely. I mean, we're pouring millions of dollars of our own cash from our own company into buying the development before we offer it to our clients. So, unlike a broker, we're putting our money where our mouth is. We're not just sort of telling people this is a great area. We're going, that's a great area. We're going to buy there, and then our clients are going to buy the product from us.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's great. I'm really happy to have people hear your story. Thank you, Matt Tingy from the Global Real Estate Group. Again, if you want to reach them, globalrealestategroup.com. Pleasure to have you. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.